Okay, so as you can see, the 009 distributor with the pertronix ignition module has been installed into the motor. This is the vacuum only style pertronix ignition module that I modified to fit into the 009. Got a couple of videos up that show how I did that, but this is installed, bolted down. I static timed it to about 7.5 degrees, 8, somewhere in there. Should be able to get this thing fired off. Now as well, I'm going to time it with you guys. I do have my timing light, which is hooked to a secondary battery. I know some guys will hook it up to their coil, which is fine. I just prefer to have all the wires and everything out of the engine bay, so I just use a secondary battery. It is clipped onto the #1 spark plug lead there. So I will put the cap back on. I will put you back in here. We will get the motor fired up and we will time it to show you that this module and what I have done to it to make it work in the 009 will actually work. Now I will also have to loosen this up just because I tightened it up real quick just to get it to fire over. So real quick as well, maybe I should have shown you guys this. It is the hash mark here is right about sitting at the, say, 5 o'clock mark, somewhere in there. That's kind of where they should be, somewhere in that area, to get it fired off. There's a lot of videos out there that show you how to static time the distributor. Now, static timing is only going to work with the points. It's not going to work with electronic ignition, so you may want to, if you do this or you're doing anything, static time it first with a light, with a probe style light, not a timing light, a strobe light, and get it kind of set and know where it's going to be. Now, there's plenty of videos. I know Chris Vallone is one guy, he does them. Easy Jeezy has shown it a few times. But we're going to get this going for you guys. Like I said, we'll get it all fired up and we'll time it, and you guys can see that this will actually set. I'll be setting it to 32 degrees. It is a 009, so that's where I will set it. Okay, so what I found initially when I put this in and went to go time it was that the pickup was not actually getting triggered by the magnet. So I took a little bit more further investigation and noticed that the magnet wasn't actually sitting down on the shaft far enough to trigger the ignition module. So one of two things you could have done. One, we could have pulled the plate back out that we modified, put some spacers underneath it and locked it back down. I just didn't like that option, because you have to have 2 spacers under both of the screws that we used and some sort of plate or something underneath the module so that it wouldn't rock back and forth. So I went with the other option, which was to actually undo or scrape away the upper stop collar that the pertronix pickup, the pertronix magnet puts on there to stop it on those bumps of the shaft. What I'll do is when you slide the magnet down, it actually stops down on the bumps, the shaft bumps there. So what I did, I went ahead and just took a regular knife, just opened it up, and the bumps themselves are actually on the ring. They're on the top of the collar. If you pull one off, if you have one, you pull one off and you actually feel inside of here, you'll feel that there's like a lip or a collar. All I did was took a knife and I just scraped away that collar, okay, until I had enough room to actually slide the magnet down the shaft of the distributor and get the trigger and pickup almost even. You can make them just about even, but this was a good spot that it liked when it was running, and I got it going there. And you'll see in the video that it's running really well after being timed. Now you can see here also that the bumps and the shaft are actually above the trigger, the magnetic rotating collar there. And I had to do that, like I said, to make sure that this was somewhat level so that the ignition module would actually get the trigger and vice versa, so it would actually cause it to work. So that was one little small thing that I ran into. I'm sure it's something that if you guys do, you're going to run into also. Like I said, this isn't something that I expect anybody to really do, just something I was doing because I was kind of bored and I had the stuff and I figured I'd make a good little video out of it. Hope you guys enjoyed the little series that I put here. I'll be putting a couple more up and stay tuned. You will have the video of the distributor being installed and running. Take care.